A while ago, I already saw that Fluorosis is coming out, or came out, better said, with a new foundation. And while we, and with we I mean me, absolutely adore, love, cherish, and consume the Cushion foundation like nobody's business, it was time for Fluorosis to come out with a liquid foundation. I was asked by Fluorosis if I want to try this. They sent me over 3 different shades that I chose myself. So out of all the 18 shades that they have, instead of only 3 like in the Cushion, I was allowed to choose the ones that I thought will match the best, and I chose the 3 lightest versions. This time there are 18 shades. It is up here. They are basically divided in a neutral range, a warm range, and a cool tone range. And the shades that I decided to get are W10, N10, and C10. Fluorosis did not ask me to do this video. They just sent over the 3 with no obligation to post, no money, no nothing. If so, you know, I will always tell you. But what I also want to tell you, I am affiliated with Fluorosis too. So if you want to get this, the Cushion, or anything else from their amazing range, make sure to use my link. As said, it's an affiliate link, so you can save money. It is 6% when you spend $100, and I get some commission out of that. But before we head into the review, I filmed an application process for you, including also face swatches. So now back to past me. So before I apply the foundation for you, I want to show you face swatch of all the shades that I have. We're starting with W2, and I just twist it open because I don't want to use the pump, because as I told you, I will give this to someone else. So I just pick up a little bit here, and yeah, I think you can already tell how warm this is. It is way too warm for my complexion. To compare it, we have here C10. That is, you will probably get a jump scare now. Look at the difference between warm 10 and cool 10. That's so intense. And then right up in the center, we have the shade N10. So here it is. I do admit that, especially when I see these now side by side, I think warm 10 has an orange warmness to it, and N10 has a little bit too much of a yellow warmness to it. I don't think that this is a pure neutral, but maybe this gives you a little bit of a feeling for the foundation. Let me give you some face swatches too of other foundations that I regularly wear. For example, the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. The shade that I have is the shade 4, and I have to say that I personally think that the shade 4 is a little bit too warm for me. And you see, it is quite close actually to W10, but the undertone of shade 4 makes it kind of workable for me. But I'm honest with you, I haven't worn this in a hot minute because of the tone, so I might switch up for the shade 2 in the Lisa Eldridge foundation at some point. I also have the skin tint, and in that one I have T2, which is definitely a little bit better matching in my opinion. So let me put it up here. So you see T2 is definitely more neutral, is not too warm. I don't know why shade 4 was recommended to me. Always my reference shade is MAC NC10. This is the Studio Radiance foundation. Look at this. It is a little bit warmer than N10 here, but not as warm in my opinion as W10 and the Lisa Eldridge one. And I also want to compare it to the OG Fluorosis foundation. It's the Cushion one, and the lightest shade in that is N20 actually. I can wear N20, but I think also it is a little bit too warm. Let me apply that here. See that? N20 is very, very close to N10 in the Serum Touch in terms of the yellowness that it has. And surprisingly enough, all of these foundation, aside from the W10 of the Serum Touch, I wear. I, in the testing phase, wore either C10 or N10. I can wear them separately, but I think I get the best result when I mix both. So that is what I did here now on my mixing plate. I mixed N10 and C10, not a full pump of each because you don't need that much. It's very liquidy. And now I just apply it here in dots on my face. The primer that I'm wearing for this application is the MAC Skin Base. It is a very, very simple primer. No pore filling, no glow, no whatsoever. It's a little bit like the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched face base. It's just like a moisturizer. Now I take a flat buffing brush and I work it in. I also, just for you, for the application, skipped any type of glow underpainting primer stuff. So here you have the foundation now applied on one side of my face. On this side there is nothing, and I don't know if you can tell, but the redness here is still shining through. So this is by far not a full coverage foundation. I would say this is light to medium coverage. Compared to the Cushion foundation, which in my opinion is definitely a full coverage foundation, this is more like a skin tint, but as it said, it is the Serum Touch foundation. It is like a serum. It's very thin, it spreads very thin. That's the whole purpose of this. So I applied it now all over the face with a brush, and as always, I just go over everything with a sponge. No additional product, I just used the sponge to just smooth it out on the face. And here you have it applied on my face. Now moving on back to future me for the review. Thank you past Ella for that demo. So here it's me, present aka future Ella, with the review of this. I'm honest with you, the review of this foundation was a fucking roller coaster. When I got the email for this foundation, when I saw it the first time, and when I tested it, I was very, very excited. Let me read some beautiful things off of the website to just try to explain why I was so excited. Flawless coverage with lasting radiance. That I totally would sign. That is definitely the case. The lightweight and imperceptible words are very hard for me today. Formula effortlessly conceals minor imperfection and evens out the skin tone to bestow upon you a look of natural flawless allure. Equipped with advanced composite film forming technology, this waterproof, sweatproof foundation allows you to radiate an unwavering confidence in every moment without fading, caking, or patching. Doesn't that sound beautiful? And just like every single foundation or every single product from Florasis, this Serum Touch foundation is, let me quote from the website, also enriched with the delicate floral extracts of peony and lotus. This exceptional formula offers profound nourishment to the skin while locking in moisture. It works to enhance your natural beauty from the inside out, ensuring that your skin remains hydrated and radiant throughout the day. I already talked to you about this when I did the video about the floral engraving Phoenix palettes. They just take parts of the traditional Chinese medicine and put them in their makeup. That's why their makeup products are so different and so special. Peony for revitalizing, water lily for the soothing, and glycerin for hydrating. Just read that off of the website because I just want to mention it again. I'm not paid to say this. I think just it's important to mention. So with all these claims, I was in radiant heaven. I thought, when I apply this foundation, I will just look like K-pop star. I know that sounds weird, but have you ever seen the skin of those in all their media appearances? It's bouncy, it's flawless. Not only the K-pop stars, like any Asian like celebrity or content creator, when you just see them, it looks like you could touch their face and it will like bounce back because it looks so freaking flawless, beautiful, radiant, and just perfected. I had high expectations to this foundation, and as I just said, it was a roller coaster. First of all, as said in the application process, this is far away from being full coverage. Compared to the cushion foundation, this is full coverage. Like, this is war paint, and I love it. This is a serum foundation. This is thin, spreadable, radiant. I don't want to say that the cushion foundation looks dry. It's definitely not the case, but when you compare this, there is definitely a big difference. During my test with this foundation, I tried it with every single primer that I own. So we're talking the MAC Skin Base as I'm wearing today, Huda Easy Blur, Made by Mitchell Pore Paste, Rare Beauty, the Radiant thing, the water powder from Danessa Myrix, the Glowish Blur Gem, Shantakai Rose Tint, Thorn Oil from Ritual the Fee. Then we have here the Hourglass Airbrush Primer, the Tom Ford's Shade and Illuminate one. Yeah, Shade and Illuminate Primer, the Dolce & Gabbana Bergamot Primer, and last but not least, the Isamaya Beauty Microbial Cream. So all of these primers were tested with this foundation, but I used for every single test the same powder because I just wanted to see how it performs, and for that I used the matching from Florasis. This is the Gorgeous Peach Blossom Powder. It is a super duper fine milled loose powder, and I either used the shade 3, which is translucent, or the shade 1. It has a slight peachy tone to it, but the formulation is in both the same. I didn't want to bother with other powders because that's just, I wanted to have like that one base, but primer is something that I think has a bigger effect on a foundation than a powder most of the times has. So why was this foundation test of this such a roller coaster? The very first test that I did with this was with the, let me grab it, the Isamaya Microbial Gel. I really liked the way this looked. I was very happy with it, but I was not completely wowed like I was after just one use with the cushion foundation. Then the second one that I used was the water powder because I thought, well, maybe this just works better with a smoother base and not so much, since this is already very hydrating, maybe not so much of another hydrating base to it, you know? Just how it reacts with each other. And it got worse. It started to peel. I had these like cracks on my face that I was able to just remove, and then I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I tried it with the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base that I'm wearing today, and the same happened. I then switched over to the Thorn Oil because I thought, maybe it's my freaking skin. And with the Thorn Oil from Ritual the Fee, in case you don't know, it is a pure oil. That is what it is. It was okayer. It was not good. It was okayer. But I then thought of what the fuck is causing this, because I have foundations in this serum-like formula. I have skin tints that are much more watery than this. Why is this foundation not working? And I have to tell you this. It was not the foundation nor the primer that made this problem. It was my skincare, because prior to me testing this foundation, I added a new serum at night to my skincare routine. I then stopped using that serum and started the test all over again with all my primers, and now we're here. It took 3 or 4 days to like fully be gone from my skin, which is really interesting. Also, just keep that in mind maybe for future foundation tests. And then I started to use it again with the water powder. That was what looked the worst on my face. And all of a sudden, I looked like a smoothed out painted angel. It was incredible. Since I cut out that serum from my skincare routine, I had no issues with this foundation at all, and I absolutely adore it. Will this beat my Chanel Sublimage foundation? No, but they're also very, very different. So it is a really, really unfair comparison, to be honest. But if I have to compare it to other foundations that are similar in finish, so we're talking glowy, radiant, low coverage foundations, the first one that comes to my mind is the Lumen Invisible Foundation. This is a serum, a vegan collagen serum in foundation, and this is very, very glowy, very, very light coverage. Definitely nothing that you probably want to use if you have a lot of redness going on. That will cover nothing. That is just like sitting there as a glowy layer of foundation. I do personally think that the Florasis one is a way, way better option to this one. I do like the way this looks, but the Florasis has such a good wear time, like a much better wear time. I don't think that, as the website claims, the Florasis Serum Touch Foundation is sweat proof, because I wore it a lot throughout workouts. Like my daily routine is I get up at 4, I start doing my makeup at 5, I'm done at 6, and then I do my workout and start working at 7, and during my work I go 5 to 6 kilometers on a walking path with 4 to 4.5 kilometers per hour. So I am basically working out for a good 3 hours a day, you could say. And it's not that the foundation broke up. That did not happen, or that I had these like droplet streaks on my face, but it got very, very glowy compared to a maybe full coverage foundation like the cushion from Florasis that does not do this. It gets a tad bit glowier, but this one is straight up after that looking sweaty. So I would say if you wear this throughout a workout and you do not like that overly glowy look because of the sweat, definitely touch up. In general, I think that this foundation is a hybrid between a classic very liquidy, super sheer coverage skin tint and a medium coverage foundation. For example, I think that the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint tried to be something like that, because this is, in my opinion, not a skin tint. This is a full-on foundation. Same with the Made by Mitchell Truth Tint. This is a full-on foundation. This is not a freaking skin tint. This one is right in the middle of some things like the Summer Fridays Super Sheer Skin Tint and this one, which is in my opinion a foundation, or between an Easy Blur foundation from Huda Beauty. It's just right between feeling like a skin tint and applying and holding on like a medium coverage foundation. The price on the Florasis website is 47 euro, which is an okay price. You get for that the classic 30 mils, so this is definitely not like too much or too less when it comes to the amount of product you get. And the price is just in the range of a high-end product. Florasis is a high-end sea beauty brand. That is what it is. Their products are more on the pricey side, but I think they are quality-wise also on the better side. Out of those 3 foundations, I will keep C10 and N10, and W10 I will give away through Instagram. So if you are in Europe, make sure you follow me, because I will give this away for free since I just cannot wear this. I am very, very happy that Florasis got the note and starts to branch out with new foundation shades, because they just got more and more popular. More people want to try this. And I think it is very important that Florasis starts to branch out with this, because times are over for them just being on the Asian beauty market. Florasis is a brand that a lot of Western people want to try, want to have, want to use, but the skin tone range is just so much bigger outside the Asian continent. That is just completely normal. So they have to adapt to their new targeted market, and I hope that they will. I cannot tell you anything about the undertones and how good the deeper shades are, so hopefully there are some creators with deep skin that can answer you that. For me, on the side of the white skin YouTube, I can tell you that C10 is a very, very light foundation and N10 is just a tad bit too yellow. I told you in my face swatches that I think the W line has orange in it, while the N line has probably too much yellow in it. So the mix out of these, honestly, the mix is the way to go. Personally, I don't mind mixing foundations. I do also mix the Louboutin foundation. This is such a good full coverage one. I really don't mind having the light one and the other shade next to it. I mean, you saw the difference between is just so enormous, like that's not healthy. But the mix of both definitely does it for me. Same with here. So can I recommend this foundation to you? 100% yes. I am very happy, but it very much depends on what you are looking for. If you are looking for that hybrid that's not a skin tint but not a foundation yet, for glow, radiance, and a good wear time throughout the day, I would say a good 10 to 12 hours, then you are definitely in the right spot for this. The shade range has some weaknesses going on, so I assume that when you are in my skin range, you probably need to have two or can adapt a bit. As said, I am able to wear both also alone, but I just have to correct it a little bit with bronzer, with powder, and with concealer maybe, but I'm fine with doing that. So if you have any more questions about this foundation, let me know down below. Maybe I forgot something that's important for you in a review. Just ask the question and I will answer it for you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the info box with the links in case you want to try that out. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any of the other videos that are coming, and I see you soon.